If you are a product manager or an aspiring product manager looking to crack your next PM interview, then this is the ultimate playlist for you. In this playlist, I have talked about the fundamentals of product management. What are the different kind of skills that are checked in a product management interview? I'll also talk about multiple kind of questions that are asked in any kind of product management interview, how to answer the questions in the best possible way. I will also share a lot of resources so that you can also go ahead and practice on your own. And in the last video, I will be sharing a database of questions which are popular across multiple companies. So go ahead, watch the complete videos, make sure that you subscribe to the channel because we keep on bringing so much helpful content for your product management journey. And if you are able to crack an interview because of this playlist, make sure that you let us know in the comment section. Go ahead, watch the videos, and best of luck for your next product management interview. Understand that interviews are one of the most important, or let's say, most high leverage events, most high ROI events in your career. So, today I'm going to tell you how to crack a product management interview, no matter what level are you talking about, because basics remains the same. Okay. With that being said, this is going to be our agenda for today. First of all, we are going to talk about intro to PM interviews, which is what does the job of a PM looks like? What are the skills that a PM needs to have? And then I'll map the PM job and the skills to specific kind of interview questions. And I'll tell you what the interview structure looks like in most of the companies. After that, we are going to talk about the types of questions. And I'll also give you a format to answer most of these questions. The first is product sense interviews, product sense question. Then we'll talk about metrics questions. Then we'll talk about root cause analysis questions. Then we'll talk about strategy questions. Then we'll talk about behavioral questions. And then eventually we'll talk about one of the most important parts, which is technical questions. So there are many people in the session today who are coming from non-tech backgrounds. Still, they could be asked technical questions as well. Okay. So we will make sure that you are, even if you are from technical background, how can you prepare for technical rounds as well? Okay. And then eventually we will talk about how to practice. Understand all of this is useless if you do not know how to practice. If you do not practice, all of this is useless. Okay. So now let me go ahead and start formally with the session. Okay. Yes. So before I could start with the session, let me just go ahead and tell you what does product management looks like. Okay. Before I could talk about interview, I have to tell you some basic concepts of product management so that everyone is on the same page. Yes. So what happens in product management is that you have a business team where they are going to give you some kind of strategy or some kind of suggestions. This could be called as a business strategy. Okay. Or they can give you some kind of goals. Similarly, you will have other internal stakeholders. Internal stakeholders such as your engineers, your designers, your salespeople, your marketing people, your customer support people can also give you ideas. Sometimes the best ideas come from people who are actually facing the customers, such as sales, marketing, customer support teams. They can also give you a lot of ideas. Similarly, your partners. There are many companies who are operating in the partner ecosystem. For example, the National Payment Corporation of India, NPCI, is working with multiple banks, multiple providers such as PhonePe, Paytm, and they can also give them certain kind of ideas in order to improve their products. Okay. And over and above this, we also have a lot of data. So by understanding the data, you can also identify gaps in the user flows. You can understand the user problems, user desires, and then you can go ahead and try to articulate them for as some opportunities. Okay. So by collecting all of these things, you will have a list of opportunities. Okay. These are the opportunities to improve your product and to take your business forward and to solve the problems in the life of your customers. You as a product manager are also connected to the customers. You have a brain of your own. So you are also going to suggest a lot of ideas. Okay. Plus, you also do market research. Market research from competitors, from similar players, dissimilar players, direct, indirect competitors, you are going to also consider. Okay. Now we have gone ahead and collected a lot of opportunities. But understand that all the opportunities are not worth pursuing because every company is limited by time, resources, and you have to be very pragmatic about your time and resources. Okay. So now what we'll do is, because all opportunities are not good, we are going to validate the opportunities. How do we validate? Again, we validate with the same thing. We either look at data, we do the user research, we do the market research, we run some kind of experiments in order to understand whether the opportunities are good enough or not. And understand, we do not validate every opportunity with the same rigor. Some opportunities are very obvious, and some opportunities might need some kind of validation. Okay. After this, the opportunities which are not validated are going to go in the dustbin, which is no. And some opportunities which are validated, yes. So the opportunities which are not validated are going to end up in the dustbin, while other opportunities are going to be prioritized further. Validation can be considered as filtering, which ideas to consider, which ideas not to consider. And prioritization is about whatever you have on your plan. Which are you going to do first? What are you going to do later? Okay. There are multiple frameworks for prioritization. One of the popular framework is RICE, another is Kano, another is Moscow. But I'll give you resources at the end of the session so that you can understand basics about it. And also a very impactful framework called as impact versus effort. A simple framework and useful for almost more than 90% scenarios in the interview context. Okay. So now you do prioritization. After doing prioritization and everything and validation and collecting the ideas, now you have the next step. The next step is everything will come together to form a product roadmap. What is a product roadmap? Product roadmap is a high level depiction of what you are going to build in the coming time, or what are the problems that you are going to solve in the coming times. It is a prioritized list of opportunities, problems, or solutions that you have. Okay, this is a high level document. But if you have been a product manager, you will understand that high level things do not work. You might be very clear in your mind, but you need to give the clarity to your teams. So you are going to further break down this product roadmap. You are going to define each and every item in the product roadmap, and then you are going to transform this into something called as product backlog. So product roadmap is a high level document or a strategic document, while product backlog is a low level, more detailed, and a tactical document. Okay. Everyone tell me yes or no in the chat if everything is understood to you right now. Everyone, please. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Yes. Now that we are on the same page right now, so now we have created a product backlog. Now understand product backlog could also be a very long document. It's not possible for you to take every task in the product backlog and do it at once. So what you will do is you have to give clarity to your team. How do you give clarity to your team? Just give me one moment, guys. So how do you give clarity to your team? You will just go ahead. Yes. So what you will do is you will further break down the product backlog into small parts. Let's say the product backlog is for 3 months, but planning and executing straight away for 3 months is not good. Okay. So what you will do is you will take this product backlog, divide it into weeks. Okay. And then whatever is you are going to do for the next 2 or 4 weeks, you are going to call it a sprint backlog. So we divide this big amount of work into small chunks, which can be done in the next couple of weeks or maybe 4 weeks. So 2 to 4 weeks is the length of a sprint. So what is a sprint? A sprint is a time pre-decided by a team where they are going to pick few tasks which are important for the product. Then they are going to work upon them and release them at the end of the cycle. This is to make sure that the work is very manageable. Okay. Now, now we have done this. Okay. What we'll do is in this, we have a sprint backlog. We are going to release something. And here the major stakeholders are developers, designers, or maybe other people based on what is the kind of product that you are building. Okay. Once you have done this, once the product has been created, you will go ahead and work with the here testing team is also one of the stakeholders. Now you are going to take the product in the market. So you will work on go to market strategy. Here your major players are in the launch or go to market strategy. Your major stakeholders are sales and marketing, customer support also, because they are going to help you how to address, you are going to help them to understand how to address the common queries and what to do if a customer asks a question. And once it is done, you are going to ship the product to the user. Now the product is in the hands of the user. Now the user will also go ahead and give you a lot of feedback, questions, recommendations, and then again the whole cycle is going to repeat. Then again the whole cycle is going to repeat. Okay, so what we did, we started here from a company mission vision. This is what the business has suggested. This is an opportunity that the founder or the company has found. Now you collect ideas from multiple places. You validate the idea, you prioritize the ideas, then you put it together in a high level strategic document called as a product roadmap. Then you put it together in a product backlog, much detailed document. Then you go ahead and break them down into sprint backlog so that people are able to do them. And then you are going to work with the marketing and sales team in order to develop the product. And eventually you are going to develop it, give it to the users. Users are going to use it. And then you are going to, the users are again going to give you the feedback. And along with every other feedback, you are going to consider this. And again, the cycle is going to repeat. Understand, many product managers make a mistake that they generally focus till here. They don't focus on taking the product out in the market and making sure that the product is successful. Understand, your job is half done till here. Okay, so this is a quick 101 on product management. Okay, this particular part is called as product discovery. You understand the business, you understand the customers, you understand the market, you understand the data in order to create a roadmap that this is what we need to do in order to identify the right ideas and opportunities. The second part is here you work with the internal stakeholders in order to build the product, create the product. This is called as product delivery or development or design. Okay. And then eventually, here when you take the product out in the market, this part is called as product distribution. Okay. So this is product management 101. This is going to be the fundamental on which we are going to talk about preparing for the interview. Okay. Everyone, a quick yes or no in the chat if you are able to understand this. Tell me on a scale of 1 to 5 if you are able to understand this. Everyone, on a scale of 1 to 5 if you are able to understand this. Yes. Yes. User is involved. Understand, guys, although I was not able to, let's say, yes, yes, although it might not be clear in the diagram, but user is involved all across. If you are not talking to users at every cycle of the product management life cycle, then you are doing something wrong. Okay. So this is the basics of product management. Now let me go ahead and give you. So this diagram is also the same. I know my handwriting is not very good. So this is the diagram that I have created for you so that you guys can see a more structured diagram. Now, if you observe carefully, then for each of these parts, in each of these parts, we have gone ahead and created, in each of these parts, we have gone ahead and done and implemented some kind of product management skills. Okay. So let's say when you get ideas, you need to have the skills of user research and market research. Without having the skills of user research and market research, you'll not be able to have great ideas because you'll not be able to understand the right problems. Second is stakeholder management. Now, here also you are collaborating with a lot of people, a lot of conflicting ideas would be there. How do you make sure that you are letting the best ideas win? Okay. And the third part is you need a lot of creativity and problem solving. Because if you are not creative, if you cannot think out of the box, if you are not able to solve problems within the limited resources, you will not be able to discover the right kind of ideas and operate as a good product manager. Okay, so three skills that you need in the discovery phase: user research, market research, stakeholder management, creativity and problem solving. Over and above this, you also need analytics because once the users start using your product, they are going to go ahead and generate a lot of data. How do you convert this data in the form of insights is also something that you have to learn as a product manager. So defining the right metrics, measuring those metrics, taking decisions based on that metric is also something that a product manager should know. And then eventually, you also need how to do prioritization. Prioritization is a very, very critical skill for any product manager. If you're not able to do prioritization, then generally you'll be all over the place. Okay. After this, you need execution power. Execution power is it's one thing to discover all the ideas, but it's another thing to work with people in order to get them executed. So you should know how to execute the ideas. Okay. Then, because you need to collaborate with developers, because you need to make sure that your salespeople are also able to understand why or why not something is feasible or not, you need to have a good understanding of tech. I'm not saying that you should be knowing how to code and you should be knowing, let's say, the best amount of tech, but at least you should be understanding the basics of tech so that you can be confident along with your while talking to your stakeholders. Okay. And then you need to again have a lot of stakeholder management abilities to work with testers, to work with sales and marketing team, to work with legal team, to work with all the other teams that are involved. Okay. Now, in validation and research also, all of these skills are applicable. You should be able to know how to do user research, how to do hypothesis testing, how to make sure that you are able to do stakeholder management, market research, validation of ideas, data experimentation. All of these skills you need to have. Okay. So understand, if you want to become a product manager, these are the skills that you need to possess. And I have also shown you the reason why these skills are going to be important to you because they are critical part of any product development lifecycle. Okay. Now, some people have posted a question in the chat that does it remains the same for B2B as well? Yes, guys. The same flow remains for B2B as well. In B2B, generally what happens is that users are the leaders or drivers of your roadmap. Because in B2B, users are generally sophisticated. They know what they want. So they are going to tell you to build it. You are going to a bit validate it and then you are going to build it. Okay. But in B2C scenarios, such as Facebook and Instagram, users might not know what they want. So you have to conduct a lot of A/B testing, experimentation, rely on a lot of data in order to take the decisions. Okay. So this is PM 101, and this is how the multiple skills are required. Okay. Yes. Everyone, tell me on a scale of 1 to 5 if you are able to understand these skills. Yes. Now what I'll do is I have planned the session in such a way that not only I'll tell you that these are the questions that could be asked, but I'll also tell you that this is the reason why they are being asked. And I'll map it to the skills. Now you know why these skills are important. After that, I'll map these skills to the right kind of questions. Because many people think that most of the product management questions are useless. They are not useless. It's just because you do not have a good understanding of PDLC. That's why beginner people find that yes, the product management questions are just completed out of thin air. Okay. By PDLC, I mean product development lifecycle. Yes. Now let's go ahead and go to the next part.